powered by the Wil and Dave Show. Well, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are around the world. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Wil and Dave Show. It is episode 13, which is rather ironic, Dave, because it's week 13!
Yay!
Yay!
Right.
The greatest week on all of iRacing, and it only happens 4 times a year. I mean, can you get any better than week 13?
We just gotta hope that our show doesn't end up like a week 13 bottom split street stock race.
Wait. We just crashed. We need to start again.
Well, that's a good start.
Well, good afternoon or good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Wil and Dave Show, episode 13. Surprisingly enough, we didn't actually crash there. That was just what we like to call comedic humour, which some people get and other people don't get at all. Isn't that right, Dave?
Yeah, there's a lot of people that don't get things, especially when you're on the iRacing forums.
Well, yeah, especially Forum 622.
I would assume you mean the IndyCar one.
Of course, yeah. Don't forget, ladies and gentlemen, you can keep in contact with us on Twitter. Use the hashtag Wil and Dave. Follow us at Wil and Dave Show. Facebook.com/Wil and Dave. You can find all our videos thanks to the awesome guys over at GlacierTV by going to YouTube.com/GlacierTV archive. However, don't go to GlacierTV.com because the website's down today, which, Dave, is a little bit fucking useless.
Did somebody forget to pay the bill or something?
They actually did. You only forgot to actually pay the GlacierTV domain bill.
That's because you guys aren't streaming enough races. You're not getting any of those internet monies to pay for anything.
We're not. By the way, we've got Al Nagy here, and we also have Josh Chin here. Josh.
新年好.
Oh.
What was
No,
that?
that's only fitting on Chinese New Year's that you would play that.
It is, and it's Chinese New Year, so happy Chinese New Year.
Happy New Year.
Thank you.
Hey.
Same to you guys.
Is there any way we can pay for the Glacier TV TeamSpeak with maybe bitcoins? We can all mine, you know.
Well,
You know,
you've got
5 years
bitcoins,
from
but you
now,
also
we'll
have
have 1
Dogecoins
Bitcoin.
now, don't you?
Oh God, yeah.
Yeah.
I turned my miner on the other day and let it run. It ran for like 24 hours. I had like 3,000th of a cent. Like, what is this shit?
Wow.
You're not working hard enough.
Yeah.
You gotta get on. You gotta get on that Bitcoin welfare.
Yeah,
Oh.
you started at the wrong time.
Yeah, I probably should have started 3 years ago.
The
Yeah.
American dream is to never work and get paid for it.
Well, yeah, true story, that. In fact, it's the same over in the UK. So, you know, hey. By the way, I want to start by talking about iRacing. I know this is
Wow,
kind
really?
of controversial. iRacing on an iRacing podcast, Dave. The Road Warrior series, of course, it kicks off tonight with the Daytona 2.4. And let's be honest, it should actually be a rather good series if people stop complaining left, right, and fucking centre. And if iRacing actually managed to get the cars running on the track combination that they're supposed to have.
Yeah, well, unfortunately, iRacing's PR department doesn't seem to be doing much for them, and they continuously seem to step on delicate parts of their own bodies when it comes to making announcements about certain cars or doing certain things in the service. And they were originally going to run the Riley DP and the Rough C-Spec, but turns out that the C-Spec runs out of gear at pit entrance, so you'd have to try to do the whole Daytona Tri-Oval into turn 1, banging against the rev limiter, overheating the engine, and blowing up. So iRacing made the decision to switch the track version, which obviously doesn't have that problem. But they switched to a car that everybody wanted anyway, so they're saying, well, why didn't you just run that car in the first place? And so people get mad, and then it spins off into, well, the incident limit and all this other things. Or why isn't the race 160 minutes instead of 144?
That's because you can't count.
Well, because they wanted to do 2.4 as the 4 is in 40 minutes instead of an actual 2.4 as in 24 minutes, which is 0.4 of an hour.
Can I ask you a silly question? In 5th grade in America, do you not get taught about fractions and decimals?
Listen, Well, it's not that they don't know fractions. It's that they just wanted a longer race, so they said, "Well, we'll just make this lame
It's 16 fucking minutes. 16, 1-6.
The race is gonna be longer. I could make up extra time."
Heck,
Well, half
you know
the
what you
cars
could do in
crash
those
before that
16 minutes? Finish the race, turn the computer off, get your iPad out, go to Pornhub, bash one out.
Bash one out. If you're bashing one out, that's kind of painful. But I
That
guess
just
some
sounds
people like it that way.
painful.
Hey, some people like it that way.
Well, yeah, okay.
You know, the song hurts so good.
Alternatively, you could just stroke the front nose of a McLaren, but we'll come back to that one.
Now, well, you don't need to. Well, never mind. We'll get back to that.
I
But
think you stick it in the Lotus.
Yes, there you go. And then you have go-kart babies.
yes,
And
but
there we are, the 2014 Formula One car.
pretty much there we are. We talked about that now. We're spending the next 53 minutes laughing about it. But I mean, about the 2.4, you're right. Everyone, and I mean pretty much everyone, wanted to run the track car. I mean, the big issue between the track car and the C-Spec car is the track car is beautiful into turn one. The C-Spec car, it's like driving down a highway into a tight right-hand corner in snow, in about 10 inches of snow, then having to brake on slicks. That is how scary it is going into turn one in the C-Spec car at Daytona.
We all know that the DP is not the most physically accurate car at the moment on iRacing because it hasn't been worked on in a while. But the C-Spec going into one was making me want to race the DP for this race. That's how ugly it was. And no matter what I did or no matter what me and any other friends of mine could do to a setup, we couldn't make that thing handle into one to save our lives. So I'm glad that it's the track car because the track car is a lot of fun. The thing drives really well. You know, it does make you pay if you overdrive it, but it's manageable.
Yeah, I
But
mean,
wasn't-
the C-Spec car is literally having to pump the brake pedal more than I'd pump a hooker if it was a half-price sale.
Well, the C-Spec car, weren't we rolling that over, Dave? Weren't we rolling the C-Spec over coming back onto the tri-oval with the C-Spec car? When it
Yeah,
first came out?
if you were using the default setup with the higher ride heights, we were rolling it over. But if you got a decent setup where they lowered the ride heights and kind of adjusted things, you weren't having that problem unless you turned like really sharply or you kind of clipped a curb or something. But no
Well,
worries now.
Yeah, I mean, the track car does still like curb hopping, especially I messed up a little bit. I was trying some alternate tyre pressures, see if I can get the car to handle better on qualifying. Put them up. You put the tyre pressures above about 21.5 pounds, and my God, that thing, if you go over the car, just like, and your wheel is all over the place. It's horrible. But then, I mean, the issue with the pit lane as well, you must think, come on, iRacing, I love you to bits, but test the cars out before you make them into, you know, the car you're going to use for a series. Just do that once for me, will you? Please.
Yeah, we got to give a call out to those alpha testers. Tell them to get off their asses and find out these problems before they release them, huh?
Yeah. If you're an alpha tester and you're listening, we're presuming all of a sudden that Darren Ganji's an alpha tester because he's been posting videos of, you know, the Super Late model on his YouTube Inside Sim Racing page, or either he's an alpha tester or he, you know, has got a good alpha tester friend who's going to happily leak footage to them. But Darren Ganji, your testing has been mediocre at best.
Speaking of Darren Ganji, a little bit of controversy with him lately, and funny how he jumped into a thread to talk about it and it got locked.
Yeah. Well, it's that whole Sean Cole leaving ISR thread. I mean, I never really got to the bit where Ganji was in it. I've not actually read those last 2 pages, but
He basically just said haters are gonna hate. It was, you know, my sponsors and everyone else are behind my decision, so carry on bitching. I'm gonna do what I want, and then it got locked. So it basically sounds like Darren wanted to go it alone, and I mean, obviously we don't know. We can only speculate, but another situation where stepping on delicate parts of yourself.
well, that's ISR. I mean, they've been stepping on their own delicate parts time and time again, really, haven't they?
This is true. You know, you go back to the whole
Ben Cornetto.
Ben Cornetto thing, and I mean, what other controversies are there? Oh, how about the one where they do their how about the one where they do their own, 120 Minutes of Thunder? They post a poll on their website. Hey, which car combination would you guys like to see? They vote the fans vote the car combination of Vet, McLaren, and another car, and they said, well, we're going to go with the Riley DP anyway.
Yeah, because that's the car that Darren Ganji liked. Oh, sorry, was that too controversial?
Isn't that what the Wil and Dave show is all about?
Yeah, true. By the way, ladies
is.
and gentlemen, we have breaking news. We know who the replacement for Sean is going to be. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Andrew King!
Well, hello.
So, Andrew, how does it feel to be replacing Sean Cole on ISR?
It feels great, guys. I just thought I'd step in to the role and just take the lead on this and just try and make it a better place altogether and more collaborative and get the community involved. And that's really the position I want to take.
Now,
So besides talking like a politician, are you going to do anything specific, or are you going to just speak in generalities about how you're going to make it better?
Well, you see, I'm going to try and get better on the track and get less, incident points. I was really happy to see that the 2.4 hours of Daytona increased the amount of incidents, or allowed for more incidents. I think is the best way to do it. And I think that's really going to help me build my platform. Give me a little bit of leeway to start out, and then work my way down.
I'd say, Andrew King, is that your important voice, or are you sick today?
I am sick today.
tell you what, you sound kind of hot when you're sick.
Oh boy.
Well, thank you. The first step is to have your furnace go out on the coldest day of the year.
Oh.
Wait. Just recently was it colder, Dave, than a couple weeks ago when we had the big cold snap?
It was pretty freaking cold. It was below zero.
The polar vortex.
The polar vortex.
Wait, do you have a sound clip for a polar vortex?
Can we not just play the GlacierTV intro?
Sure.
That kind would sum it up, wouldn't it?
Cleaner.
Zoom, zoom.
Does Josh Chen even know what a polar vortex is, or is he out on the beach?
That's when he
No, it's
walks
actually
into
cold here
the
today.
local set.
But wait.
Yeah.
Let's hear what Florida cold is. Go ahead.
It's in like the 40s. It's been a pretty cold day.
Kid would be walking
Guys,
around
it's
without
like
a
when you
jacket
go
on
into
tonight.
He takes hot water and throws it outside of his window. It just falls on the ground. We do it up here. It turns into steam.
Well, can I just go back a couple
What?
of paces, by the way? You made a good point there, Mr. Politician, sexy as fuck, Andrew King, about the incident point. Because, yeah, people bitched and cried and moaned that they can't do 2.5 hours worth of racing without crashing or going off track 17 times. Let's put it this way. I come from a series where if you tap the motherfucking wall once and get a 0x, your race is over. We survived just fine for 2.5 hour races, yet you pussies can't be asked to make sure you keep your car on the track at the right time and not hit each other. Those 5 extra... Shut the fuck up, BT. I'm giving a pipe bomb. Those 5 extra incident points means that you can now cut the chicane 5 additional times. You can hit someone another time, or you can hit someone and go off the chicane, or you can spin your car 2 more times. So basically, what we've just done is dumbed this race down for you little fucktards because you can't keep your car on track.
Well, I really appreciate it.
I want to shortcut the chicane 22 times instead of 17.
Well, you know what? You can just blow me. Actually, no, you can't. You're too young.
We wouldn't want to run afoul of the law, right?
No, we wouldn't. Especially seeing as we have someone who's a member of law enforcement here. Shit. Dave.
It's out of his
fun and games
jurisdiction.
until the cops show up.
Yeah.
And that's just fun.
Unless it's a false alarm, then the cops won't ever come.
Well, we hope.
We hope. So yeah, Dave, 5 extra ink points. I mean, it doesn't sound like much, but it's another 25% worth of incidents here, which... iRacing, if you're listening, no, seriously, iRacing, if you're listening, stand by your fucking guns.
Here's what I have to say, and it's like Daytona's not a technical track. It's not Spa. It's a fairly easy road course. How hard is it to stay on track and not hit anybody? I mean, it's a 2.4 hour race. It's not a sprint. You shouldn't be running that race qualifying laps for 2.5 hours. You gotta pace yourself. I mean, what? I need extra incident points, so when I'm in the Riley DP, I can dive bomb a couple roughs and get 2 X's and that get thrown out?
Dave, that's the reason you finish races and others do not, because you look at it that way. You look at the overall picture that it's a marathon race. It's not a sprint. Half the people here just jump in because it's a novelty, and they run a sprint race, and that's what happens. They end up dropping out, and then halfway through the race, you're down to 10 cars.
Yeah,
Well,
that's why
makes way too much sense. Let's be honest here. That makes way too much sense to do on iRacing. But come on.
I don't know. If I do the race, I'm going to start from the pits. You know, let everybody else leave to make sure that the pit wall isn't, scrape
Jam.
clean. And then, just take my time. But, I did quite a bit of testing, excuse me, this week, and I found it was really easy to get a 1X going through the bus stop.
No, it's not.
It was fairly
stay on the
easy.
track.
Okay, no, this is the thing, right?
I was still on the track, and it was still giving me a 1X on the right-hand side of the bus stop coming out of the bus stop.
That's because you clip the
don't do
curb
that.
too much. You just
What do
not
you mean too
taking
much?
the
I'm still on the
corner properly.
track. I'm not off the track. I'm still on it.
Well, just because you got one tire on the track doesn't mean you're on track.
Right.
When you can see dirt, Mr. King, when you can see dirt flying up in the mirror, you're going off track.
I saw no dirt.
Well, that's because you haven't got your
that's
graphic
'cause-
settings turned high.
I was just gonna say that.
But-
Well, Vincent, it's like you're reading my mind.
I know.
You guys are like completing each other right now.
We are.
Oh.
But Dave, I mean, on a slightly more serious note, and this is one of the next video that King and I are going to make about endurance racing. And in a qualifying lap, you are going to run at 99.5% majority of the time. In a normal race, you are going to run, if it's a 20-minute race, you'll run at about 96, 97%. If it's a 2.5-hour race, you're not going to run even at 95%. Because of the fact that your first objective is to bring the car home. You push the car too hard, you are going to end up binning it at some point. So you drive more conservatively. Yes, there are times when you're going to have to push, but it's that whole thing. Would you rather go 3/10 of a lap slower and be able to bring the car home safely, or do you push it that extra 3/10? And we've seen this in 16 Street League coverage. We saw it in the World Cup the other day. People who push that extra little bit, who just spin their car, hit a wall, whatever. How you doing, Matt Cook?
Yeah, unfortunate for Matt. Guy rarely makes mistakes, but man, when they happen, they really bite hard.
Spectacular.
But like you were saying, well, you push when the time is right. You don't push when you're a Daytona prototype and you're surrounded by 4 or 5 roughs battling for third position in class. You push when the track's clear, you don't have anybody in front of you for a lap or two, make up some time so when you get into traffic, you don't have to be like, oh my God, somebody's chasing me down, I got to get by these guys now, and that's when the mistakes happen. Or you just get a guy who thinks that, oh, well, I can outbrake a rough into the bus stop. No, you can't. The rough goes fast enough where I've almost run DPs over because the brakes are so horrible on that car. So these guys are going to have to be careful, and no matter how many times people preach it in the sessions, you're going to have some bozo who thinks that they can pass guys as they're turning into the apex. It's just not going to work.
Rule number 1 of endurance racing: the guy who says keep it clean until lap 1 is the guy who's going to crash in lap 1.
But the real rule of endurance racing, especially if you're in the slow class, is be predictable. Especially like Daytona, the slower cars stay low, the faster cars will pass you high.
Yeah.
If you're going to turn into the corner, just maintain your line. Don't try to get out of the way, because the guy behind you, it's his responsibility to pass you cleanly. So if you maintain your line, he knows, hey, he's going to stay low coming out of the bus stop. I can swing out to the right a little bit, and I'll get by him. Well, if you're like, oh crap, I'm going to get out of his way. Well, you go right, he goes right. You're both in the safer barrier.
Precisely, and I mean, it's not as bad. In fact, in some ways, it's not as bad as when it used to be the Riley and the Mustang. In other ways, it's actually a lot worse. Because at least with the Mustang, it was so much of a speed gap that you had enough time, to complete the pass in a corner. Whereas now, it's the sort of thing that there's not much gap between those two cars at all. You talked about it into the chicane. It's also kind of the same down into turn 1. I have run over Riley's almost into that braking zone into turn 1 because I'm just so good on the brakes into that corner. And it's that whole thing that if I was a Riley, I would actually be taking mental notes. Okay, pink car, normally does this. Yellow car normally does this. This guy, I have no idea. I'm going to be a bit more careful. And you're going to come through lap traffic a lot. If you're a Riley or a McLaren, or a Ralph. So it's one of those things, and also it's a little bit of respect there as well. Don't try and run someone down, Riley down into turn number 1 just because you feel you can. Ease out the gas, let them go past. You're both going to be fast on the long haul because running 2-1 into turn 1, you're actually half a second slower than if you can take your own line.
That's absolutely right. It's, some people are just at that mindset of I got to go all the time, and it ends up costing them time. No matter how fast they are, if they're go the whole time, you could be 20, 30 seconds ahead of me with 15 minutes left, but if you keep that go mentality and you crash into somebody, guess what? I ran a consistent race, I win, you wrecked out.
We'll move on from... actually, I think that was a rather educational segment.
Indeed.
That may have been the first educational thing we've ever done here, except prove how stupid we are.
Well, yeah.
Well, and I did contradict myself, because earlier this week I did say if it's not off the rails, then I'm not here. But I'm here, and it's on the rails, so I don't know what to think of life anymore.
Don't worry, we still got another, 35 minutes.
Yeah, it's because you're ill.
Yeah, when you're ill, you're not at the top of your game.
Yeah.
I don't know about that. Good question.
He doesn't know.
Yeah.
Well, Dave, I do have to say that I left work early, came home, tried to get a nap, and I am going to try and run tonight. To give you an update on the ankle, anti-inflammatories have kicked in, so I have been able to do some testing. But, of course, the other night, I just couldn't sleep at all.
No, poor Will Vincent had a pretty busted up ankle, and after he took his boot off... Well, it wasn't his fault. It sounds like that somebody was a little lax in maintaining the property, and he slipped and wrenched an ankle pretty good.
Chin. Up the stairs, please.
He said,
"Yeah, that's what I said. Up the stairs."
Okay, cool.
And alcohol was not a factor.
Nope.
So, after you took your boot off and tried to test your ankle out a little bit, I believe it was throbbing so much you couldn't even sleep.
Yeah, and it's one of those weird things. I just couldn't actually find a position to sleep in. It got to the point. I know. It's that Japanese sex doll. It wasn't helping either. Let's be honest.
Well, explain to the folks how you tried to overcome not having your brake foot.
I tried right foot braking, but in the cars that I run, I really can't right foot brake because normally I actually use a little bit of gas and I alternate gas brake to help turn the car through the corner. That didn't work at all. So then I tried to map a brake button to my wheel, which in the rough wasn't overly bad because it's got ABS. Yep. And if I should just tap the button a number of times, it would just kind of slow down, but it was 9 seconds a lap slower than me running with an actual brake. In the Gen 6 car, completely different story.
Yeah, you got to be able to have some brake modulation there, not just an on-off button.
Yeah.
Simbrick.
I think, actually, Salman Ladakh could have beaten me how bad I was in the Gen 6.
Is Salma qualified for the 2.4 yet? Anybody know?
I was in a qualifying session earlier, and he was in a DP, and he did a qualifying time of 1 minute 53 seconds.
Wait.
Still faster than the Mazda. Still faster than the Mazda.
Yeah, what's up with that car?
I don't even understand how they're that bad. They've lost 6 seconds switching from a GX car, which is the slowest GT they've ever run in Grand Am, to the prototype that they've lost 6 seconds inexplicably. It makes no sense at all.
By the way,
they're gonna be getting lapped by the GTs the whole race.
It's a 157.111, by the way.
Still faster than the Mazda.
Yeah.
All right, 157. I'm going to see how many people in a rough out-qualified them.
Pretty much everyone.
The whole field.
Yeah.
Hold on, I'm not there yet.
But
so the fastest.
I'm at 225. I'm still at 144. 275, 300,
faster than Johnson?
325. No, not me. Hey, there's Will Vincent, 343 with a time of 145.398.
Yeah, but I'm injured. Leave me alone.
That's true. You got a bum ankle. We're at 400 and we're at 146.2. What's the time we're shooting for?
157.
Oh God, 151. Lauren Doolittle 475.
Oh, that's a shot.
Wait. There's one guy slower in the rough.
One
Poor
guy.
Poor old Benny Jones is number 4. Poor Benny is 481 with a qualifying time of 2 minutes and 18 seconds. I'm pretty sure he's trying to start at the back of the pack so he can at least start instead of having to come out of the pits.
Yeah. Wow.
That pit exit's pretty treacherous on cold tires, no matter what car you're in.
Well, yeah, and I was actually considering just not taking tires, just to make pit exit a little bit easier.
Well, if you short shift and you let off the gas pedal a little bit, it's manageable.
Yeah, the last thing you want is a Riley coming out of pit road behind you. I mean, that's always been the case at Daytona. It's your worst nightmare. But I think the way the fuel mileage is going to work, that I don't think the Rileys and the Roughs are going to come on pit road at the same time ever.
Yeah, I mean, the Rileys only got 20 gallons of fuel, and then the Roughs got 27, and it's a slower car, so it's got to be burning less fuel. So, I mean, unless a Riley really screws something up or crashes, I would think they're not going to pit together ever.
Yeah. By the way, we talked about the real 24 hours. Is it me, or has NASCAR decided to fuck everyone over again? Oh, look at that! All of a sudden, the Daytona prototypes are so much faster than the LMP cars.
Yeah. I mean, what's the next closest LMP car in qualifying?
You got the Muscle Milk car, haven't you? Which is like stupid off the pace.
Yeah,
Isn't it
what, like 2
behind the
seconds?
Delta Wing?
I think so.
Let's find out.
I mean, they're almost on the PC pace, if not at the same.
I mean, have they still done the idea that the LMP cars are going to, the DPs are going to be faster, but have to pit more often?
It seems
Supposedly,
like they're... Yeah.
The fuel capacity is the same, but I don't know how that's going to work out with the different burn rates. I don't know how different they are off the top of my head.
Josh, they were saying that the DP could go about 30 minutes on fuel, and that the LMP2 car could go up to 55 minutes. So they were talking about possibly putting some sort of inflatable device inside the the LMP2 car tank,
Right, and I think
to try to even it out. But hey, you know what? Let those guys run with more fuel. Like Will was saying
it's
last
the only way
week.
to balance.
Right.
Otherwise, the DPs are just going to run away.
Exactly.
And of course, at the one time that an LMP car leads a race, a caution is going to come out. It is guaranteed.
You're probably right.
Right, in the LMP class, the fastest time was a 1 minute 39.829. In the PC class, it was a number 54 car, which had a 1 minute 41.777. So you are talking in 3 miles an hour average speed faster, and 14 miles an hour. So 14th is the first prototype challenge car. That's crazy.
Well, why is it so difficult to just find the lineup? I don't need an article. I just want to see numbers and names. I don't need an article.
That's right. I'm in exactly the same place. I'm actually having to read through articles because, you know, NASCAR being NASCAR, they probably just removed anything that said anything bad about them. Like the Wil and Dave show is going to get cut off in the next 20 seconds because Bill Francis heard about this.
That's a really good.
Bill France is dead.
Yeah.
I just found the results from qualifying in about a minute and a half. Not
yeah,
even.
that's because you're awesome.
Yep. Okay, so yeah, the Delta Wing. Dude, the Delta Wing out-qualified the Chip Ganassi cars. I mean, come on, they got to be way off the pace.
Ganassi
Well.
was really bad this week, and it's actually kind of surprising. It seems like it's not even an advantage towards the Daytona prototypes. It's more towards the Corvette prototypes.
Is the
'Cause
Delta
Fords
Wing
have been struggling?
the Delta Wing going to win this thing?
No.
They only qualified a second off the pace.
That thing can't even finish a race. I don't think
Yeah.
it's finished one yet.
Well, they got run. They're the original penis car.
I was
You know,
just
they
gonna
just keep
say,
getting
it's
run off the track.
a
They just
penis
keep
on
getting run off the
wheels.
track.
Let's
Isn't
not
it
forget,
only nice
every
to
time
have
we
a
talk about
Delta
Delta Wing, I have to remind anyone, this could have been the Indy car.
Yes, it could have.
Could you imagine how fucked up it would have been if that was the Indy car?
That's why they didn't pick it.
Well, even though Chip was like, yeah, I want a car that looks like a penis. It looks like me.
Well, yeah, because Chip had all that money in it, so
Yeah,
if it
true.
didn't take off, then he was kind of out of. I don't even know how much he put in that thing. God only knows.
50
What?
bucks.
Yeah, I was about to say $20 drawing it on the back of a cigarette packet.
Uh-huh.
I mean, let's
Just
be
had a
honest. It
paper
has the
shipping
aerodynamic looks of a horse giving fellatio.
Well,
Stroke clip!
I'm qualifying.
Oh, okay. No stroke clip. What the fuck?
Well, that could be considered a stroke clip. I guess it
Yeah.
depends on how badly he's driving.
Of course,
Well,
Dave, we
very,
have
very,
one NASCAR fuck up to another. Yeah. Let's talk about actual NASCAR, shall we?
Speaking
Oh,
of fuck,
Hello,
proposed-
NASCAR.
What, the proposed chase?
Yeah. Stop trying to be Formula One. Stop trying to be IndyCar NASCAR. I mean,
there's more money in Formula One, right?
yeah, but
Oh, yeah.
at the same time, I mean, let's be honest with NASCAR. Like, people actually used to enjoy watching that qualifying the way it was. Yes, it was dark on speed, and now it's on Fox Sports 1. This is all Fox Sports 1's fault. It's because of the fact they don't want to show 14,000 hours of qualifying. This is the issue.
There's now you're playing into the where's my speed channel argument.
I want my speed vision back. I want to have my Barry Jackson on my speed vision.
That was me last night, sitting around at 2 o'clock in the morning with nothing on TV. I go to the channel that Speed Channel used to be on, and I'm stuck with basketball or whatever else Fox Sports.
It's Fox College Hoops, actually.
Oh, it's terrible.
It's okay. You wouldn't have gotten anything racing on speed anyways, so.
Well, yeah, as it has
Ouch.
turned out to be, you're correct. But that used to be my go-to channel. Middle of the night, I could at least find something that was running around a track. Now I'm listening to commentators talk about basketball and football.
Oh, okay. Whoa. Are you taking the piss out of Jay Onright and Dan O'Toole? Those guys are fucking legends. Watch it!
Hello, everyone. I'm at.
Oh, sorry. Adam Alexander just came up on the screen. I couldn't close the video in time, and I'm trying to find the Coors Light Pool Qualifying Change Award thing. And the screen keeps on freezing just as I try and do it. What's going on? No, stop!
I really have no problem with the qualifying layout. It's just everyone else has been doing it. Now NASCAR just says, oh, well, maybe if we do it, we can say it was a good idea and that we pioneered it.
Yeah, and NASCAR is like, NASCAR undergo a significant change. As if this is new and shiny and amazing. No, it's not. F1's done it for years. IndyCar's done it for years. The CCWS did it for years. For fuck's sake, endurance racing's done it for fucking generations. And, I mean, to be fair, though, this is NASCAR that until a couple of years ago, was still running cars running off 1960s technology.
This is very true. Yeah, let me pick up my carbureted Chevy from the showroom in 2008. Oh, wait, they don't make those anymore. They haven't made those in like 10 years. Do they even make carbureted engines anymore in like your basic street vehicle?
Maybe,
so.
in the very last depths of the Soviet Union, they might have.
Maybe like a Yugo or something.
Yeah.
Yugoslavia doesn't even exist anymore.
No. It's going to be bad when, communist countries stop making carbureted cars, but NASCAR still have them.
You can't change, man. NASCAR can't change my speed vision, can't change my engines.
Although,
Can't change my
Take
fuel.
my guns and don't change my NASCAR.
Although, of course,
change
in
my
20
fuel.
years' time, you don't have to then explain to your kids what carb day means at Indy because, everyone's going to be so obesely, morbidly huge that you can just say carb days a day to go and eat loads of tenderloins.
Well, what about Gasoline Alley? They haven't used gasoline in Indy in how long?
Well, yeah, but it's still called... the gasoline alley is the stuff that just comes out from the toilets upstairs.
Oh.
There we are. But yeah, the qualifying procedure, at least what they've done is they've kind of split it a little bit to short tracks and long tracks. But can you imagine 43 cars at Richmond trying to qualify?
No, Martinsville. That's going to be hilarious.
Yeah.
Guys,
If they get car-to-car
cars.
contact, is their lap going to get invalidated?
breaking news, guys.
Yes.
I had a clean lap at Daytona.
Bye,
What
Chin.
kind of,
Oh, Chin's gone.
what kind of lap did you put in?
Oh, a 146.9, not too shabby.
That had to be draft lap, right?
You're right on top of me.
Nope.
Hello.
What's your road I rating, Mr. King?
Shitty.
Well, what do you consider bad?
I have to look it up.
I'll look it up for you since you're racing.
Too late, I'm already all tabbed out.
Well, a very, very heavy rotation tonight. We had a very Darrison, but let's go to Terrace and look for the head of the pit.
Well, Dave, let's not forget.
1673.
1673, that's lower than me.
I have a 2220.
Although, let's be honest, Dave, my entire road I rating came from running Star Mazdas at ovals.
You cheater.
I know. In fact, that's where my only road wins have come from as well.
Hey, all my road wins are legitimate. Well, no, I'm sorry. 2 of them are not. One race at Suzuka, I entered the fixed prototype and GT class, and I went in.
Nobody was in there.
I went in as the Ford GT, and I was the only Ford GT, so I ran 1 lap and I won the GT class. And then actually one time, at Road Atlanta, I was
at Bandcamp.
one time at Bandcamp, I was a Corvette, and no other Corvettes joined, and it was like a field of 9 HPDs, so I was the 10th car, so I made it official, so therefore I won again.
Aww.
And I crashed.
Can I just say, I've been doing open qualifying at flat tracks like Talladega for 3 years now, and as far as that goes, that qualifying session is going to be fucking interesting.
Oh yeah, doing drafting and stuff.
Yeah.
It's going to be hilarious to watch some like really bad team trying to catch a draft after like 6 cars and see if they can get into the field.
Come on, that's the way I've always done it. You drop back to exactly 0.7 of a second back, just as you're coming through turn 3. Make sure you have the speed, boom, because you catch them just as you come out turn 4. You still got the forward momentum, but you're not going to lose enough speed when you get to the start-finish line.
This is true. Maybe you can teach like David Reagan or somebody like that how to qualify really well. Maybe they'll put you on the team and they'll retain you.
I was about to say, don't you have like the fat Keselowski who I tried to qualify for Daytona?
Oh, Brian Keselowski.
Yeah, I'll try and qualify for him.
The fat Keselowski. That's horrible.
Let's be honest, he is though.
He is a large, stately man, isn't he?
Just a little bit. Are we going to have Kenny Wallace try and qualify again?
No, I think he's pretty much put an end to that.
I know, that was kind of funny yet heartbreaking. It was like Big Brother meeting the Daytona 500. It's like, okay, come on. It was funny one year. Now it's just becoming like a sympathy act. Just like, retire. Retire. Go and sit next to fucking what's-his-face on TNT. And yeah, you two talk together. That's okay. Those guys will race and Danica will sit at the back crying like a little girl.
We didn't drink yet for the Danica reference.
I haven't got any alcohol.
What? Well,
know.
it doesn't have alcohol. Come on. It's 11:30 at night in England or whatever, and you don't have alcohol?
9:30. 9:40.
I got a nice
9:30.
bottle of Gentleman Jack over here.
Oh, can you save me some?
Sure. I got a bottle of Crown Maple too.
Oh.
Ooh.
Unopened.
Why are you
problem
not
is
sharing?
the last time I drank that stuff, man, whoo, that put a hurt
What
on
happened?
me.
Do you remember what happened?
Yeah, it was that was over at the FOP hall for my going away party for Painesville, and I was drinking that what's that Fireball bourbon. Drank that and Maple Crown Royal. Oh my God, it put a hurting on me.
Yeah.
You're too old for that stuff, Al.
I am too old for that, but I'll tell you what, it's nice and easy to drink though, man. Good stuff.
I don't drink anymore.
By the way, talking of drinking, we do have to bid a bit of a farewell to our good friend John Go, because he's going to a country where you can't drink.
Yeah, I don't know if he's going to be able to make it. I don't know if he's going to be able to make it 6 months on deployment without being able to drink alcohol on his 1 day off a week.
No. So, go have fun in Qatar, and we all appreciate what you do.
Thank you, John.
Don't try and join a soccer team.
Wow.
And stay away from the goats.
There's a guy who's stuck over there right now because he can't get out of his contract.
Yeah. It's kind of hot over there as well. Let's not forget, this is the country where they're having to play the World Cup in winter because it's too fucking hot in the summer.
Not only is it hot, the humidity is apparently also ridiculous.
Yeah, although they've had this at the Australian Open this week as well. We're branching out. We're talking about tennis. Fucking hell. In the Australian
Where's Jim
Open.
Swinbanks?
Yeah.
Where's Jim Swinbanks? He needs to help us
Jimmy
out with this
Swinbanks.
Australian stuff.
Wait for it.
You're listening to the Wil and Dave Podcast.
There we are.
And
You're going to get real hot real fast, Dave.
there it is.
Classic.
Yeah. So, I mean, literally in Australia, they were almost passing out because of the heat, and it was like, you don't know, no, sorry, we can't play, it's too hot. Shut up. All you're doing is you're hitting a ball.
I
And
kind of
you're hitting
had a
another
chuckle
ball.
with that. I had a chuckle with that, Will, because they're like, oh, it's 105 degrees. It's like racers are in like a 140-degree car wearing like 7 layers of fire retardant layers, and they can handle it for 4 hours at a time.
So what we're saying is, under Donovan McNabb's philosophy, tennis players aren't athletes.
Yep.
There we are.
Donovan McNabb, he knows all, especially
He does.
those chunky soups.
What about
Yeah.
cyclists?
Hey, did you see that photo though? One of the UK cyclists. These are basically the people who do one of the best cycling teams for the Tour de France. They're also
Like
the same
Sky?
people. Yeah, the Sky team. They basically come up with all these crazy innovations, and the latest one was basically you wearing fishnet with you can see the nipples on these guys, for Christ's sake. And the only thing they have is a little bit of a crotch thing. Everything else is pretty much see-through. And this guy has basically just got a huge red rash on his back because of the fact that they kind of messed up the design ideas a little bit.
You guys ever seen this video of they were in a cycle race and one of the cyclists tried to push another cyclist off the bridge or knock him down, so the two guys mugged him and threw him off the bridge into the river?
Yeah.
Jesus.
I love that. It's hilarious. I can't stop watching it. They're side by
Real
side, and
racing.
the one guy just kind of throws an elbow and knocks him down. And two guys just come running out of the crowd, grab him, and throw him off a bridge probably about 20, 30 feet.
Cyclists are almost as bad as violin players and orchestras. They
Yeah,
get
that's it.
pretty lethal at times.
If you have both
Second violin, I'll fucking show you.
if you have both testicles, you can be considered an athlete in cycling.
Oh!
I see what you did there.
Yeah, was I a dig at someone there by any chance?
Good dig.
Yeah.
Look,
I'm-
the guy lost a nut, so he used a little performance enhancement to get back to where he needed to be. He still had to pedal that bike. Regardless, he still had to pedal that bike.
He
That's
he had the muscles of like 6 people, but yeah, he still had to pedal that bike.
He still had to pedal the bike.
Give me a break, Al. Oh, just like Rodriguez, he's been taking steroids for years. Oh, he still had to hit that ball. Yeah, he had to
Yeah,
hit the ball outside of Yankee Stadium, like 7,000 feet.
By the way,
Missing a nut.
By the way, I'm just putting up on your screen the sunburn image that I was telling you about. There you are, top left-hand corner of your screen right now. That is how bad it is. You guys, by the way, it's in the TeamSpeak thing. That is how bad the sunburn was.
Well, have you ever
Wow.
been sunburned?
I'm black.
Do you
we
know
don't get
anything about
sunburns.
This is a classic
I was
question.
gonna say, like, you don't know the pain of being sunburned. You can make fun of it all you want, but it is horrendous.
It is.
That's understating it.
Yeah, it's not fun.
Chin, I thought you were supposed to go out.
I did too. It turns out next week.
What? Isn't Chinese New Year today?
That's what I thought. Evidently not.
So Chinese New Year is not until next week.
Premature
Yeah.
ejaculation.
So I sent you money for Chinese New Year today, when Chinese New Year is next week.
Yeah.
What the
What kind
fuck?
of Chinaman are you?
Yeah.
Oh. And Chinaman is not the preferred nomenclature.
So
Wait,
Okay.
wait, is Oriental correct?
Please,
Not
Asian
really.
American.
Next, you're going to be calling Will a colored.
新年好，
Will will make sure
Oh.
you use your own water fountain. I mean, come on.
Oh,
Oh, jeez.
I don't get
hashtag
it.
casual racism.
Yeah.
although Chin,
holding
we were talking about How I Met Your Mother earlier.
First person to tweet us at Will and Dave Show with the hashtag casual racism gets a hug from Will Vincent.
Hello. Yeah, Chin, you and I actually talking about How I Met Your Mother earlier, and they got into a shit ton of trouble for the episode before last, didn't they?
Oh yeah, that was an interesting episode. I didn't personally like it that much. It was kind of a space filler, but yeah, they definitely got in some hot water over that one.
And all I thought, it was a bit of a rip-off of Kill Bill, but no, it offended people. Oh dear, what a shame. Moving on. And we will move on to Formula 1 cars.
Penis nose!
When a Lotus loves a McLaren,
I wanna
they
be inside here.
make cute little go-karts. Yeah, so we've had, so far, we've had the, was it the Caterham? Or the Force India.
Sort of.
Yeah, the Force India, the Williams, the McLaren, and the Lotus. The Ferrari's coming out tomorrow. Surprisingly enough, the Red Bull's going to be the last of all of this bunch because they want to see what everyone's doing, and they're working until 6 o'clock in the morning to steal all their ideas. But the Force India will start there. That car looks sexy as fuck this year, like livery.
Absolutely, especially if it stays flat matte black and gloss the rest of the way. It is an awesome looking car.
Yeah, white cars are pretty boring for the most part, so to really dress it up and make it look the way it is right now, love it.
And also, they've got a pretty good chance, I think, of at least getting a podium, and they've got an outside shot of a win this year.
Guys, anybody really has a shot at the podium, don't you think? I mean, except Caterham. But...
Yeah, I was going to say, only 4 cars going to finish Australia. Max Chilton pretty much finished every race he entered last year. He might get a podium.
He might get enough points to outlast Caterham the whole rest of the season. I mean, none of them have scored any points yet.
He might get enough points that he can afford to buy a Happy Meal.
I guess the important...
Chilton, doesn't he have to make a certain percent, like 70%, to be able to be classified in the race and score points?
It's 90% of the race distance that you have to complete to be classified in the final race results.
Oh, well, he's not going to score points then. He's going to be like 10 laps down at least.
All right,
let's be honest here.
I know we got the penis noses and the vagina noses and all this stuff and all the other questions, but the most important question is Marussia and or Caterham going to actually score any points this year and have their first points ever in the, 3 years that they've run?
No, let's talk about penises.
Actually, I think Caterham could.
You go first.
Kobayashi.
Oh yeah,
you got Koba. And Kobayashi, of course, is one of the most popular drivers in F1, probably alongside
Because he can eat
Kimi.
so many hot dogs.
Yeah.
Well, that'll go well with the penis nose.
Yeah.
Hashtag casual racism.
I don't know.
How
about that,
are we still on
okay.
iTunes?
Because we haven't played any song clips and don't do anything, Andrew. We're gonna have to move you.
Yeah.
Why do Vincent's
Suddenly appear? Because there's chicken.
But
Hashtag casual racism.
there we are. And
Is that going to be the name of this episode? Casual racism.
I think I might just have to call it that now.
See, we were so educational in the beginning. We've got to make up for it with racism.
Oh, you people.
What do you mean, you people?
Well,
That's racist.
it is.
That's racist.wave.
So instead of playing it, you just say it, the file name.
Strokeclip.mp3.
Okay, so we have got...
Hold on, strokeclip.mp3 is still playing.
Oh, for Christ's sake.
Jesus Christ!
Of course we have got...
Why would you fucking stop your car?
What is happening? Is Andrew King having his own stroke moment?
Got a fucking
Andrew
4X.
King. Andrew King is
he's
mad
qualifying.
at someone.
Who is
This
it? Call
is
him
something
out.
special.
Oh my God.
Wait. I think I've got the perfect thing for this.
Arca brake!
Yes. Arca brakes. Well, what's
I'm in
the
the middle of a
opposite?
qualifying lap, and we cross the start finish, and this guy decides going into turn 1 to stop his car.
Yeah.
YOLO.
What's that called when instead of not using your brakes, which is referred to as Arca brakes, you like in the middle of the bus stop with a car right behind you, just decide, yeah, full brakes.
Arca brakes!
But that's not
You
Arca
just
brakes.
broke a
What is
Duno.
it?
Randy said that was bullshit.
No, Milkaduna never went fast enough to actually use the brake.
True.
Maybe she was on the brakes the whole time and didn't know it.
Guys, true story, and Al can attest to this. A couple years ago, me, Eric Vanek, and Al were at the Mid-Ohio IndyCar race, and we rented a scanner. So we switched to the Milkaduno channel, and her crew was literally telling her lap by lap, corner by corner, when to hit the gas, when to hit the brake, brake later, you can still brake later, you can still brake later, now gas it up here, no, full throttle, where you're still not full throttle. I mean, she was not even full throttle, like on the straightaways. She was so scared. It's like, what are you doing out there? She just was a hazard. They were literally telling her to pit when the leaders were coming, so she wouldn't even risk wrecking anybody.
Do you not remember the Iowa race?
Oh,
No.
God.
The Iowa race when she almost wrecked Will Power and Marco Andretti, I think it was.
So we'd have seen double birds from Will Power again, I'm sure.
Oh, God, yeah.
Or a crotch grab.
That was EJV, so.
No one remembers that, and it's really unfortunate.
That no one remembers the crotch grab?
Yeah, like that was probably better than the double birds, but just it
That's
happened
true.
in such an obscure way that no one will ever remember it.
We're
Well,
gonna
no
make
one's
it
going to remember it
famous.
now.
We will make it famous. The Wil and Dave show, making EJV so famous.
Hey, let's put a Wil and Dave show sticker on his crotch. Oh, wait, he's not racing anymore.
Oh, right, he's not got a crotch.
Got the qualification run. 145.2.
Woohoo!
That's
Are you
good.
drafting?
I might have.
Faggot.
I ran a 43 the other night.
Oh, sorry, casual homophobia, sorry.
No, I do 145s.
Casual
Top 145.
Can I just say, what I meant by faggot is I didn't mean the
Up on the
derogatory
sticks.
turn towards a homosexual. What I actually meant is this kind of beef dumpling in gravy, which is a popular special dish in the Black
It's
Country
pronounced
of Birmingham.
fagot.
Oui.
Fagot.
C'est un fagot, s'il vous plaît, monsieur. Can we talk about F1 cars, please?
I thought we did already.
Well, we kind of did, and
Is
we
that
went
the
off
help
topic.
button?
I showed you a picture of the new Ferrari, which is coming out tomorrow. The one of the artist drawings. If that Ferrari actually is the real Ferrari, that thing looks beautiful.
Yeah, I think it looks quite well, or good, or something. Wow, horrible English on my part.
And Ferrari, of course, they always seem to do ugly cars when everyone has beautiful cars. And when everyone else has ugly cars, they're like, fuck it, we're going to make a beautiful car again. And
So
it's,
they got
Have a beautiful car?
they got to buck the trend.
yeah. All of a sudden, it's like, all of these cars, they look ugly. Now we need to make a car which looks awesome.
Boppity-boppity.
Bibbidi bobbidi boobidi.
Oh, if you're listening in Italy, I apologize.
Insert Family Guy clip.mpg.
Yeah. Wait.
MPG, what are we in 2001?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not even MPEG 2, nope.
No.
Yeah, whatever. I only do like 3-letter, file names.
I have to say, though, when I think about the McLaren, I think of this.
Pull it back, nice and slowly.
Wow.
Have you heard the Nigella ones?
Yes.
Oh, that's beautiful.
That was the one when she was there, the whole cocaine and weed one, wasn't it?
My creamy sauces.
Yeah. Yeah, Nigella's, they're just fucking awesome. What was actually the thing that came from? It's a video from the other day. I can't remember. About a chicken. Obviously, Gordon Ramsay likes doing chicken. There we are.
Who doesn't like chicken?
Chicken's awesome. I have to actually tell you a little story here. For the first time in 7 years, tomorrow, I'm going to own a freezer.
You haven't owned a freezer?
In 7 years.
How have you survived?
It's easy. I have a fridge.
Frozen food, man.
Fresh food.
Ice cream.
Ice
Yeah,
cream?
ice cream.
Ice cream
Ice
won't last
cubes.
more than a day.
Will Vincent just eats the whole tub at once?
Yeah. I mean, what's the thing?
Fine.
Ben and
Pieces
Jerry's
of
is
it.
shit when you go back for the second serving.
Well, Vincent, do you have gallon tubs of ice cream in England?
No.
A huge big tub.
We have like 500 mils, which is less than a pint.
That's
No,
nothing.
They don't,
that's weak.
they don't do it the fat ass way.
That's for Ben and Jerry's. You can just get like normal vanilla ice cream, which comes in 2-liter tubs. So that's close to a gallon.
We got a gallon and a liter tub. It's freaking ridiculous.
They don't do the gallons for Ben and Jerry's though. It's kind of unfortunate.
A
many liters
gallon
is
of
that?
ice cream.
Well, it should have cost you $45.
Yeah.
Well, there's that.
Ben and Jerry's supporting gay marriage and charging you more just to have ice cream.
Gay marriage.
Oh, worked perfect.
Speaking of Formula One noses.
Well, yeah. EJ is racing in the Daytona 2.4. So he is still racing, Dave.
He's in the Daytona 2.4?
24, that's one.
Is that the actual EJ Viso in iRacing? Like, I saw that the other day and wasn't sure.
Oh,
Well,
by the way, so we meant the
had
Daytona 24, but yeah, he is on iRacing. Also on iRacing is Heikki Kovalainen. And I had a huge pleasure of watching him in a bottom split street stock race the other day. And I was thinking, wait a minute, you're going 20 miles an hour faster than you ever went in your Caterham.
Hey, Josh, I got a perfect explanation of why EJ Viso has an iRacing account. Would you like to hear it?
Let's hear it.
Well, there's been speculation that he was, kind of overcharging the government for how much his, all the costs were. I'm sure he told them iRacing costs like $100,000 to use.
I mean, it's not far off at times.
Well, let's not forget, the amount of times he probably crashes on iRacing. He just probably has a standardized parts recovery service. Yeah. It's like, oh, look at that. I've crashed 20 times on iRacing. There we are. I'll have $200,000, please.
Hey, EJ, iRacing can be used to store any tax proceedings.
Are we talking about Juan Montoya or Elio Castroneves, allegedly?
Take your pick.
There we are.
Hey,
Not
remember.
Juan.
Would it be wrong of me to bring a TurboTax box to try to have Elio Castroneves autograph it?
Yeah, but you only if you
maybe
bring
a
it to
little.
Auto Club, alright?
They don't have that in South America.
Dave, I'm putting you on the spot. Are you going to come to Auto Club?
No.
Incorrect answer.
Challenge accepted.
Yeah.
Try again.
Not wave.
How dare
I'm telling you, get a Kickstarter account going, and you raise money for me, and it's enough for me to get out there. Then fine, I'm there.
Fuck
but I can't
that.
do it
I'm starting
myself.
your Kickstarter account to send me to Mid-Ohio, faggot.
Well, go. Do
Sorry,
it. You got
Fago. Sorry, Fago.
We do got to get Will to Mid-Ohio. We got to figure out how to get him there.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, so here's the deal. So if everyone donates $20, just $20 can send me to Mid-Ohio so
What,
I
easy
can get
payment of
punched in the face by
$19.99.
Elio Castroneves.
If all 7 of our listeners each donated $1,000, Will Vincent could make it to Mid-Ohio.
Woohoo!
We would have to do $500. That'd be easier.
Yeah. So, we kind of still have a lot to talk about. We've run out of time, Dave.
Well, sometimes we run out of things to talk about, and sometimes we run out of time. Boy, that was amazing on my part. I can't believe I said something so intelligent.
We never talked about Omaha. We'll talk about that once this bit actually finishes, but thank you very much. This has been episode 13 of the Wil and Dave Show. We start a new season next week, exclusively live on GlacierTV, and it's going to be the Super Bowl special, isn't it, Dave?
Yes, sir. We're going to make predictions and stuff and try to sound like we're smart.
Yeah. We'll get Liam Jenkins in for that. We won't get Jongo because he's going to be in Qatar, so if he says a bad word, we'll get his left arm chopped off or something. Don't forget, you can keep in contact with us on Twitter. Use the hashtag Wil and Dave. Also, you can follow us at Wil and Dave Show, facebook.com/Wil and Dave. We are available on iTunes every single Sunday, but if you've listened to it on YouTube, what's the point of listening to it again? And also, we're on the ETV Motorsports Radio Network every Tuesdays and Thursdays at 9 PM Eastern. But again, exactly the same shit as you've just heard, unless you're listening it on there, in which case, thanks for listening.
Of all my podcasts, this one was the most recent.
We're going to do overtime?
Sure, we got a couple minutes before we need to do some more practicing. Omaha!
You're
Why would you
listening
want
to the Wil and Dave podcast?
I'm not actually going to do the full intro. So there we are. We just did the short intro. Shall we talk about Omaha very quickly? No,
Why?
no, because it's like...
Because we want to piss off Paul Jenkins.
Oh, have you ever actually been to Omaha?
Omaha!
Probably a lot of corn there.
I call it the belly button of America.
All right.
Lint and all. It's about 2 hours from here,
Lint
and
and all.
it's nothing to write home about.
Did you notice that you can actually now buy a hashtag Omaha t-shirt?
That's amazing. It's
I
better
bet
than
it's
hashtag.
better than hashtag selfie.
True.
Yes.
We
Hey,
we
Will,
never took the piss out of that Fajo. Justin, what's his face?
Keep
Bieber.
changing the
That's who?
blabber.
That's the one. I did see a great image a minute ago where they just tried to merge his face with that of Miley Cyrus. The worst thing is that he actually looks kind of more masculine. I never thought...
Vincent.
Yes?
I've got breaking news on Will and Dave's show Overland.
Go on.
Elliot, one of our biggest fans, Elliot's going to be at the California race,
fan.
Will, so you'll be able to meet him.
Woohoo! What the thing is, if I come to Mid Ohio or you go to Auto Club, we really need to do the Will and Dave show live, and we'll actually do it in a pub. So unlike our friends over at ETV, that's not going to be listening to this bit because of the fact that we've kind of cut off the main segment of the show. We'd actually have sound effects, which are real sound effects rather than being pumped in afterwards.
If you come to Mid-Ohio, could you imagine doing a Will and Dave show with like Todd and Carrie Bettenhausen and John Goke in the background? That'd be hilarious.
Wow.
What y'all doing? Watching a movie?
Yeah, you want to explain that one, Al?
All right, so we're at Mid-Ohio, and we're in our little camping spot, and it had just gotten dark. Behind us was an RV, and these guys busted out a
projector.
Laptop and a projector. And they've got a sheet up, and they're showing pictures from races they were at, and so it's just streaming through. So they're streaming through this, and I got my son with me, and he's got to be, 11, Dave, at the time? 12?
Yeah.
Somewhere in there. And they pop on a porn. So they're playing this porn.
This pleases the chin.
This is great. So obviously we're laughing, and my son's facing me, so he can't see anything. And some hillbilly comes walking up
at his golf cart.
Yeah,
he pulls up, and he comes to like a dead stop.
He goes, real loud, he's like, "What y'all doing? Watching a movie?" So now my 11-year-old's laughing his ass off. So the whole day, or the whole next day, my son's running around going, "Hey, what are y'all doing? Watching a movie?" And he had no clue that there's this porn playing in the background. It was great. It was funny. It's one of those Mid-Ohio moments.
He still says that line.
Yeah. Nope. Still, it's one of it. And if you remember, Dave, I think it was the next day after the ALMS race where those idiots were diving into the big puddle of water right in front of us. We were waiting for somebody to get carried out on a stretcher.
Diving headfirst into a mud puddle. That's real smart.
Matter of fact, I have that somewhere. I've got to post that. I have to post that on my Facebook. But that was great. We had fun that time.
Was that also the time that Eric Vanek almost died?
Yeah, we tried. We ended up having to take him to the infield care center, and they had to move him out. They were bringing drivers in that were injured. He's got something wrong with sun poisoning or something. He's dehydrated.
Eric did not drink enough water while it was like 95 degrees.
Heat stroke?
And he practically had heat stroke. Stroke clip!
I'm going to skip it this time.
Kimmy, what happened?
I spun.
So, Al waves over one of the sheriffs. He's like, "Hey, my nephew here is a little dehydrated. Where can we take him to get fixed up?" The sheriff's all of a sudden, he's like radio, and he's like, "All right, we got him, blah, 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 blah." And all of a sudden, a freaking ambulance shows up, and cops are blasting into the campsite with lights blazing. They take him in. They're like, "We're taking him to the infield care center." And they run him down there, and they're filling him up with water and stuff. And then Eric calls us. He's like, "Yeah, they're throwing me out. Two guys got hurt or something, like they went off the track, and they're throwing me out because they got to bring the drivers in." So they threw him out of the infield care center. Said, "Here's a couple more bottles of water. If something bad happens, just try not to die."
Try not to die.
Try not to die. That's a good idea.
I want to live.
I want to live forever. By the way, getting a little bit dehydrated at Mid-Ohio is not as bad as, falling asleep in a sauna. Oops.
You have experience with that, yes?
Yeah. Thankfully, the sauna was turned off by the time that, I had fully fallen asleep.
Was this a natural sleep or an alcohol-induced sleep?
Might have had a little bit of alcohol. Might have not stopped drinking my entire time when I was in Finland. You know, from the second I got on the plane to the second I got off the plane back in the UK, I might have been drinking alcohol pretty much non-stop. By the way, can I just say, I've just found a photo of Emma Watson without makeup. My God, how are people allowed to be that beautiful?
Why don't you ask her?
Restraining order.
Yeah. You know, all those photos, you know, I thought that, you know, they were tasteful images. Turns out, no.
I do like Oh, go ahead.
I killed my joke. Go ahead.
I'm sorry. I just wanted to make reference to all the pictures of Bieber and Miley Cyrus looking almost exactly the same.
I know. It's moderately funny. But I'm gonna get. But that's amazing. I just found the one with the eyes. Although Taki Inoue did post a photo on Facebook earlier, which actually, if you were to make the, the side bit of that McLaren black, it doesn't actually look that bad.
That's true.
Yeah.
That's racist.
That's racist.
It's not racist if a black man says it.
I like that logic.
Well, it could be worse. You could put a KFC logo on the side of it. And on that bombshell.
I'm making you a skin.
I guess the show's over.
Wait for it.
Well, there we are. That was overtime. That was fun, wasn't it?
It's not the same without Christopher.
It isn't.
I see, you know, we gave him all that good luck by saying he was going to suck. He wins the championship and then he ignores us.
Yeah, kind of, I don't know, upsetting. We should start supporting someone else.
Yeah, we got to say that somebody else sucked, and then they'll go on to win.
I suck, guys, I suck.
Ryan Norton sucks. Wait, actually, no, I can't say that.
That's actually true.
Yeah, shit. Fuck. What do I do?
Like the way Primus sucks?
Yes. Oh.
Andrew King, you are the worst rough driver ever. You could never win the pole.
I know.
Can someone go grab me some donuts? Attention, iRacing.
I want to be inside you.
Watch on yourself. You have more incidents at iRacing points.
新年好.
Pull it back.
Is there any time for me?
Slowly.
Well, you've got until the time that my internet decides to work again. Yeah, we've got a bit of time because Shockwave decided that wanted to crash again.
I can't hear you over all the gunshots. This is a pretty violent overtime.
Yeah. You know, I would love to cut the show off. The only issue is,
but you can't.
I can, right?
Now.
Of all of your podcasts.
Of all my... Oh, he's got to prompt me. Okay, of all my overtimes, this one was